everybody, and welcome back to the Sunday Songwriters podcast. I'm very excited on this episode to be on the microphone with Mr. Ben Gage. Ben Gage was the first Ohio artist to take part in the Sunday Songwriter series. It's been almost 2 years ago now. Is that right? Year and a half, something like that? I can't remember.
I
Who
just gotta get
knows?
through the day. I don't even know. I actually didn't know that. First Ohio. That's cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, thanks
so
for having me on here, Clint. That's
yeah,
cool.
man. I think I appreciate you taking the time. I know you are getting ready to take off to Ireland. When you last time when you played in the Spirit Room, you actually had just gotten back from Ireland, and now you're on your way back to Ireland again. Um,
Ah, yeah.
and so the way I met Ben, the way I discovered Ben Gage was through I had Eric Erdman and Charlie Argo in town, and they asked me, they said, we were at Applebee's. That's right. They called you from Applebee's, FaceTimed you from Applebee's while we were there.
Yeah. You
And,
guys were having half price apps. Time of your
yeah.
life.
And, I don't remember which one of them, but it said, do you know Ben? He's right here in Ohio. You need to get Ben. So that's how you became the first Ohio artist, to end up in the Spirit Room.
Oh, amazing. I love those guys. They're incredible songwriters.
I actually just talked to Eric earlier this week, um, and I was editing the video, and I noticed that I had on a Ben Gage t-shirt. So I have to tell you
That's
this.
right.
And so today I wore my Eric Erdman t-shirt, but I have to tell you, man, that t-shirt. There are three things that make my day. One is a well-crafted sandwich. Two is a great story, and three is an awesome t-shirt. And I wear the Ben Gage t-shirt about 3 times a week. As quick as
That's
I
what I
can
like to
wash it,
hear.
I put it back on.
That's what I like to hear. That's a good top three. I like that sandwich one. That might be in my top three too.
Oh man, I'm very picky about my sandwiches. I can't
Are
if
you
it
mayonnaise or Miracle Whip?
mayonnaise for sure.
My man. Yeah.
I'm from the South, so
I'm with you. I'm from the north, and it's mayonnaise. The Miracle Whip, I don't get it.
and if it falls apart while I'm trying to eat it, I'm done. I can't I can't do
Throw it on the ground. I'm through. You've betrayed me, sandwich. Don't ever talk to me again.
it. Oh man, I listen. I love me a good Subway sandwich. This podcast is not sponsored by Subway, but sometimes I just want to say, look, if you want to be a sandwich artist, let's talk about this. Like, stop
Yeah.
right there.
Hey, maybe they're listening. I think they could use maybe a revamping of their spokesperson. So I think they're in the looks.
All right, man. We didn't come here to talk about sandwiches.
Although it's been a pleasant turn.
I could I could talk about sandwiches all day. Um, so let's talk about Ben. You are from the northeast Ohio area. Tell us a little bit where you are and where you've been over the last year. So we're right at the beginning of 2026. Tell us about your travels as quick as you can in 25 and how things are going right now.
Sure, yeah. So I'm based out of Akron, Ohio. I came to Akron from Ashtabula County. So I grew up in top right corner of Ohio, sort of a country boy out there, and I came to Akron for school. Graduated and went into the business world, corporate America for a little while, and I quit all that in 2021, and now I just travel the U.S. and sometimes even beyond, uh, just making music, telling stories, songwriting. And last year was great. Last year was like you had said, the first time I had ever played in Ireland. So that's how I kicked off the year. That's what I'm doing this year as well. And man, I'd have to look at it, but probably went to like 20 plus states in 25, coast to coast. And might even be more than that. Just sort of traveling all around. I kind of focus on listening rooms and concert series. Uh, any place where you can really get to know like a small but mighty crowd. I think that's in the last year and a half, 2 years, that's I've really settled into those environments, and I just love it. I love it so much.
Can you think of a spot that you went to in the last year or so that was maybe somewhere you'd never been before, it was super unique, or just there was a moment, on stage that was incredibly special? Anything that stuck out in 25?
In 25, I mean, there was a number of them. And as I sit here and think, I'm sure that just more will keep popping to the surface. One that was local is I got to play with the Canton Symphony at the beginning of the year in 25, and that was pretty cool. It was the first time I ever, had a symphony learn all my songs. They learned like eight, I think 8 songs, and we played them, and man, that was nuts. That was special, really cool.
So they have somebody do all the scoring for the full. So I guess you sent them what you wanted to do on the set list, and they had an arranger score all of that stuff.
Yeah, they have. Yeah, I don't even know how he would go about doing it. There's a guy, Kevin Martinez. I just sent him the recordings, and then he made a whole, um, yeah, arrangement for the symphony. He did an amazing job.
Where do they perform? What's the performance hall that they use in Canton?
They have a performance hall. I think it's called the
Okay.
Zimmerman Hall or something like that. It's right by um, the Pro Football Hall of Fame, that sort of campus, right in that area.
That's cool. That area right there is really starting to develop. It's been constant construction for the last couple of years, but I think it's going to be an awesome destination
Oh
uh,
wow, yeah, for
when they get
sure.
it all done.
They're doing nice work. And then outside of that, I would say, I've done it 3 times now. There's a songwriting festival. That's actually where I met Charlie Argo. There's a songwriting festival that happens in Dripping Springs, Texas, and that's in October every year. And yeah, like I said, I've got to do it the last 3 years, and that's pretty amazing. I think that's always a highlight of the year. I hope to do it again this year. It's just these amazing songwriters from all over the U.S. A lot of Texas, a lot of Nashville, and a random Ohio boy, and we're just there. And it's a songwriting festival is a pretty it's a pretty special version of a festival where everyone's there in droves. Like it's big, like a festival typically is, but people are just there to listen, and so you have just these big crowds that are all hushed while you're playing, and it's cool to see. It's cool to see so many people do something collectively, regardless of what it is. But it's neat.
I seem to in my booking of this series, I have multiple. So I guess 3 states that keep popping up are Alabama, Texas, and Tennessee or Georgia, obviously. So I guess that's 4 technically, but uh, there seems to be like a really strong songwriter culture that is happening in Texas and Alabama. I mean, obviously, Muscle Shoals. There's all those stories in the history, but I talked to uh, Grady. Gosh, I'm gonna have to edit this, but I was talking to another artist from Texas earlier this week, and the culture of country Western Texas music runs deep there. But it seems like Texas has a extreme appreciation for songwriters for storytelling.
Big time. I didn't really know that it was such a strong culture until I went there. I guess like 3 years ago. Um, and that's been a fun wall to break down. Just in general, being born and raised in the Midwest, you kind of get a version of opinion, people's thoughts on different states, um, and so you don't really get to form an opinion yourself until you go there. So prior to going to Texas, I thought it was cowboys and guns, oil, whatever, barbecue. And while it is those things, it's such a romantic. It's such it's a much more beautiful version of those things than what people say. And so there's these lovely arts communities, and it is a conservative state, which is fine. I'm not really, whatever. But I think because it has such a dichotomy in some of these spots, it seems like there's pressure in some of these artistic communities to the point where they become like diamonds. And so like Austin, Dripping Springs, pockets of Houston, Galveston, you have these areas that are just, they've become these awesome creative meccas, with songwriting being one of the things that they produce, and they just love it. They just take it so seriously.
I uh, I haven't been to Dripping Springs. I've been to most of the other major cities. I went to school in Denton for a little while at University of North Texas,
Oh, cool.
which has a really strong jazz community, which is, you know, I University of Texas has always been a really strong percussion school, big drum set school. But when I got there, you'd be in those buildings with that jazz happening, then you go outside and you're like, this just doesn't fit. Like these two things don't seem to go hand in hand. But I mean, it's like you said, it's like this pressure and these people who start to congregate, and then it becomes like um, I don't know, it just comes like this art, this community that just develops these things, and then it just grows. That's crazy.
Absolutely. And I think that Texas is one of those states. I think Alabama's like that too, Tennessee. But there's it maybe it's more of a I don't know, cuz I feel like I experience it a little bit more in the South than the North. I think it happens, but Southern states just seem to have this pride around their state, and I think it can probably be a double-edged sword, but what I experience it's nice because it's whatever that state is producing, they're proud of it. And so they have like this sort of excitement about, yeah, that's right, Texas. And so it's like when there's whatever it is, it's like, oh, songwriters from Texas? Yep, that's right. Those are our songwriters, Texas. And they're so supportive regardless if they're if they like the stuff, if they agree. There's a level of like a baseline level of support and pride from their state that you don't really see in other spots. So I think that's exciting, and I think it forces other creatives to be excited about. They've got a whole state behind them that believes in the worth of what they're making, I guess.
So along those lines, there's Texas has a characteristic sound. Alabama, Muscle Shoals, um, Georgia, that whole Athens or Atlanta. There's characteristics of that sound, and I've been in Ohio for a little over 15 years now, and coming from the outside, can't seem to pinpoint what that Ohio sound is. Do you, having been born and raised here, I mean, do you feel like there is one as far as when it comes to music, or do you think um, it's individualized? What are your thoughts on that?
It's good. It's a good question. I don't know. I mean, I guess it could be argued that there's certain bands that have come out, Black Keys or the Pretenders or whatever, Devo, like bands that have come out of Ohio that have like an iconic sound, but they're also different. There's not just one sound that's coming out of Ohio. I'm not sure why that is. I'm not sure.
You got the
I, I,
the, the Akron sound for sure. It seems like
yeah, Akron's got like a vibe. I think more so it's like a mix. I think that we do the common theme. I think in Ohio and the Midwest is like that sort of tighten up your bootstraps and do the thing, whatever it is. Like I think there's like a really strong work ethic in
right.
the Midwest and like a family element. And so I think that sort of those sort of you know I I guess loves or whatever you want to call it, inspirations, those sort of motives shape the music. But then yeah, the genres are kind of all over because I think the Midwest gets influenced by I guess the trendier parts of the United States. So I
Yeah,
don't know.
I think industry has brought a lot of different cultures here, from all over the country. I mean, I ended up here, but I don't know. It's something I didn't until you were talking about that, Texas and Alabama. Actually, I brought it up, but when we were talking about it,
Mhm.
I thought about that. I can't pinpoint what the Ohio sound is. So, um, sticking with that, who are your biggest influences? Who did you listen to when you were learning to play guitar, or when you chose to learn the harmonica? What uh what was your drive? Who was your go-to?
Yeah, sure. There's probably like two main ones. as far as the guitar and the songwriting, Townes Van Zandt, I just love it. I love all the stuff that he does, and like reading books about him and seeing like videos and stuff. I just like that he was kind of goofball, but then he had pretty serious songs. So I like that pairing. And so I think that he's a big influence as far as the storytelling and the songwriting. And then I love blues harmonica, and so that's a little bit more like Chicago inspired. I really like the Chicago sound. So like Little Walter and cats like that. So and for me, I just love that blending of sort of the Texas or red dirt songwriting. So like Guy Clark, Townes, anything like that. And then like blues harmonica and kind of sticking those together. So like folky guitar and blues harp. I think that's a cool vibe.
Awesome. I think it was college before I actually saw somebody live play guitar and harmonica at the same time. And I said, I want to do that. I want to try to do that. And doesn't happen. Did not happen.
You can do it.
I tried and I gave up. And then I was cleaning some stuff in my basement the other day and found my case of harmonicas. And they looked at me and said, we're going to do this again. Like, we have to do this again. So
all right,
I'm going to try to get back into it and see if I can make it happen now that I'm a little older and have a little bit more patience. So
come on, let's jam. There's nothing like harmonica. It's so cool. I don't think there is an instrument that is as close to your singing voice as that. I don't think there is. Like, there's other woodwinds, there's trumpets and stuff, but as far as like you're breathing in and out, so it has such a I don't know, life to it. It's so cool.
yeah, Nathan Shepard was the artist that I saw back in Athens, Georgia, do it live for the first time, and I'd heard it on records and seen videos and stuff, but that right, what you're talking about, the organic nature of it, like just it was seamless. And then I tried I tried to do it, and I remember telling myself, like, you can play drums, like you can get your arms and legs to do these things, but you can't strum the chords and play hard. It's got to be the same, right? But it's not. It's different.
Yeah, you get it though. I do think so. I was originally a drummer, and I do think that comes in handy. Being able to, like, it's it's a slightly different application, but being able to sort of compartmentalize your brain, yeah, it's helpful. You'll do it.
So I want to give you the chance to play a part of something or something. If you got your guitar handy, if you feel like playing one really quick.
Yeah, sure.
So what do you got? Is this a new one or one you've been playing for a while?
You know what? Maybe I'll do a new one. We were talking about the South, so I've got this song called Misses, kind of about all the lovely ladies along the Mississippi River. And it might be just about mosquitoes. Who knows? I like to spend my winters on the Mississippi with them Kool-Aid pickles and the Delta blues under my feet. I like to shoot a little pool, shoot a little dice, shoot a little game at anything that look nice. Gonna leave my mark, they're gonna remember me. It's all them pretty little misses along the Mississippi. There ain't nothing they like better than a music man with an old tin sandwich who can honk it like I can. I'm gonna get 'em all moving, get 'em all up, get 'em all sweating, they can't get enough. We're gonna dance the daylight far into a memory with with all them pretty little misses along the Mississippi. Mm-hmm. The Mississippi. Mm-hmm. If the sun come calling, I tell him go away. I still got some tunes we're trying to play. Throwing them back, throwing them on my brand new songs. Well, they get to begging, and that's a sight to see. All them pretty little misses along the Mississippi. The Mississippi. All right, all right. Just a matter of time till one pins me down and taking a prize, parade me around town. She gonna pull to the left, pull to the right, pull when needs pulling, and you do it all night. Honey, tie me down, I don't need to be free with all them pretty little misses along the Mississippi. The Mississippi. Mississippi, the Mississippi.
That's awesome, man. That sounds great. Sounds great.
Oh, thanks, dude.
Yeah, that's definitely. We were talking about regional sounds, and that clearly has that. Clearly has that sound. That is that Delta regional blues. You know, it's very clear.
Yeah, thanks. I think a thing that I love about songwriting and just being able to travel because of it is that I think it's important for a songwriter to sort of blur the genre lines because you're kind of shaped by your surroundings. And so when you are on the move, you're constantly picking up bits of all the places that you've been. And so that kind of changes your palette. Like it's like I think of it as a painter. Like the more places and more people you meet, the more colors that you kind of unlock. And it's important to use those colors. It's an honor to.
That's an amazing way to think about it. You know, when you're physically there, sometimes I think about it as the snapshots of my musical influence, right? So that time in the 90s when I was listening to Nirvana and Pearl Jam, Soundgarden, and then I got into James Taylor, and you know how those things all influenced me over the course of 35 years or whatever, and changed. But geographically, when you have that opportunity to be on the road a lot, I think that's an amazing opportunity to pick up that stuff, you know, and you can hear it. You can hear it in the troubadours and their music, the ones that are out there all the time and doing it. And that's awesome. It's an awesome opportunity, I think.
Yeah, I think it's cool to recognize that on both sides. Like it is an opportunity, but it's also kind of like a responsibility. I think. Take that how you will, but I think that just creatives of any medium, whatever it is, I think that's kind of our job. Our job is, and it's easy to kind of get distracted from our job with all the stuff that comes with it, like, you know, whatever, social media, or like all the minutia that gets you in the weeds. But a creative kind of views whatever sense they're using, you know, seeing, hearing, tasting, they feel those feelings a little bit deeper or in a different way. And so that's why we love artists, right? Because they see something in a way that we don't, at least not right away. And so it's kind of like, oh, wow, I never thought of it like that. And so it's, if you have that ability to kind of cut back a few layers, I think that's really important to kind of honor those layers and then share it with people so that they can, I don't know, have a deeper appreciation for things.
See things from a little different viewpoint, or from a different angle, however you want to, however you want to say that colloquialism, but
Yeah.
create a different um, understanding or perspective of things. Uh,
Yeah, and it's a little out there because it seems like oh they're making it more complex, but I would argue that it's like by kind of encouraging people to see things in a different way, or sharing how you see them, it kind of creates more common ground. So I think it brings people together in a special way. I mean, that's what a concert does. It's,
yeah,
all these people come into one place, and the songs might mean something totally different to them, but there's enough of this something, this common, this like magic thread that kind of pulls us all together, and that's awesome.
yeah, it is. I've always admired the fact that a group of people, sometimes unknowingly, will walk into a venue and sit down or stand there and all look at the microphone and go, okay, lay it on me, do it to me. You know what I mean? And they're all there for
Yeah,
this. Most of them are there for the same reason. And that when I was on stage, I tried to look at that, like you said, as a responsibility, um, and that but at the same time not let it be an incredible amount of pressure. So I don't know.
sure.
We could be another 2 hours of conversation. But that's one of the beautiful things about this art form, is that the humanistic side of it, and the 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 real time person to person connection that happens. It's
Yeah,
awesome.
totally.
Cool. Um, so I know you're getting ready to fly, so I don't want to take a whole lot of your time. I do want to mention again that Ben's coming back to the Spirit Room with Eric Erdman this time. So they'll both be sharing the stage on March 29th. That's in Mansfield, Ohio, at the Spirit Room at the Phoenix Brewing Company. And you can follow Valley Media and Productions on social media for new show announcements, and find your tickets there. You can find the link in the comments here to get tickets for these shows. So this one is definitely going to sell out, so don't wait around on this. And it's amazing. These two artists are going to be amazing on the stage, so you don't want to miss it. So, Ben, what else you got before you take off? I know this is your second trip to Ireland. What are you looking forward to? Are you playing some of the same places again? Is it a repeat?
No, it's actually a lot of new places. Yeah, it's a lot of new places, so I'm really excited. We'll land in Dublin, but then I've got shows in Carlow, Killarney, and Belfast. Uh, it's just amazing. It's just amazing. So I can't wait to kind of get over there and just soak it all up and write some new stuff. I'm sure I'll have a new song or two for that March date for sure.
You get some of that different that geographical influence when you're in another country, um and get some new inspirations.
That's right. Brought to you by Guinness. That's what it'll be.
Right. That was the Dublin was the first time I ever had an adult beverage. I'm not gonna say when. There's it was a it was I'll just say that. I'm gonna leave it at that. The first time I ever had the opportunity on adult beverage, I was in Dublin, and anybody who knows me is gonna know exactly when that was.
I
Especially
think
my
that's
especially my high school band director.
nice. Ah, a clue has been planted.
30 years later. Yeah.
Amazing.
Awesome. Well, I bid you safe travels. I hope that it is an amazing experience, man. Um, and can't wait to see you in March and hear some stories about it.
Yeah, thank you, my friend. Thanks for having me on this, and yeah, looking forward to March. And thanks for all that you do. It's
All
a
right.
it's an amazing community out there. Love being part of it.
Good deal. We can't wait to see you back in the spirit room, and we will talk to you then. Thanks, Ben.
Deal. See you, Clint.
Donovan, can't you see that you're just no good for me? Said a Donovan, Donovan, Donovan in my pocket. Well, a Donovan, Donovan, Donovan in my pocket. Well, a Donovan, Donovan, Donovan in my pocket. Donovan, can't you see that you're just no